Now that we're done switching between all the forms, we're going to start talking about some of the other examples on your sheet. So this is the first example on your sheet. So section 1, number 1, we're going to write in vertex form from a couple of different ways. The first one is we have a vertex and a point. The note over here says it's the same process for writing from a graph, because if you look at the graph, you also have a vertex and a point, right? On this graph, it's the same thing. You've got a vertex and you've got a point. So for any of these, whether it's in writing or in graphical form, you've got a vertex and a point. So the equation for vertex form is y equals a times x minus h squared plus k. This is really our h and our k because it's the vertex. This is really an x and a y because it's just a random point on the graph. I'm going to plug in everything that I know. So I'm going to plug in, well actually I'll start with just the vertex. So x minus the h value of the vertex squared plus 6. This is what our final vertex form is going to look like, except a is going to have to get filled in. So we're almost done. But we need to use this x and y in order to fill in this a. So now I'm going to plug in 3 for y and then negative 1 for x. I'm going to move the 6 over and get negative 3 equals a times negative 3 squared. So negative 3 equals 9a. Negative 1/3 equals a. Be careful, actually move this over underneath here if you need to so that you don't make this negative 3 instead of negative 1/3. So that's all we had to do. We're going to go back to this right here and just plug the a in. So it's y equals negative 1/3 times x minus 2 squared plus 6. If it says to leave this in standard form, you guys know from one of the previous examples that you just multiply this whole thing out to standard form. But it's easiest to start with vertex form and then go to standard form if you need to do that. Writing in vertex form from the the symmetric, the axis of symmetry. Yeah, the axis of symmetry. I should know this. And then 2 given points. This is going to be slightly longer, so let's move this up here. You've still got, so this is the axis of symmetry right here. It's also our h value, right? We've got y equals a times x minus h squared plus k. Except now we've got the k we have to fill in and the a we have to fill in. So I'm going to use both of these xy points and I'm going to create a system of equations. Don't freak out, but we're going to create a system of equations. So let's use this guy first. So 1 is going to equal a times 0 minus 3 squared plus k. This is going to give us negative 3, which is going to give us a 9. 9a plus k. All right, for this one, I'm going to plug in negative 2 for the y value, and that's going to be 7 minus 3 squared plus k. Negative 2 equals 4 squared plus k. Negative 2, oh, I forgot my a value in here. My bad. There we go. So that's going to be 16a plus k. All right, so my system of equations is now this guy. So negative 2 equals 16a plus k, and this guy. 1 equals 9a plus k. Not too bad. I'm going to subtract these so that I can get rid of the k and solve for a. Negative 2 minus 1 is negative 3. 16 minus 9 is 7. 7. And then we're going to divide this out and get negative 3/7 equals a. Okay, so there's my a value. If I start writing out my equation over here, move this over a little bit. There we go. If I start writing out my equation, I've got y equals negative 3/7 times x minus my h value from over here of 3 squared, and then I just need to add the plus k. I'm going to pick this equation because it has a 1, so it's a little easier to work with. I'm going to plug in the a, and I'm going to find my k value. So 1 is going to equal 9 times negative 3/7 plus k. 1 equals negative 27/7 plus k. I'm going to make this 7/7 instead of 1. I'm going to add the 27/7 on this side. 27 plus 7 is going to give us 34/7 for a k value. It's ugly, but there it is. So this 34/7 is going to go up here. So plus 34/7. And now I have vertex form. All right, and this one was from 2 points and the axis of symmetry.